think that all these things are natural. They're not all natural.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. This is the Buena Vista Township regular meeting, October 23rd, 2023. We'll start with a roll call.
Mr. Krenzer?
Here.
Mr. Renart?
Here.
Mrs. Testa? Here. Mr. Williams?
Here.
Mayor Ruggieri?
Here. On January 10th, 2023, notice of this meeting was mailed to the Daily Journal, the press, and duly posted in the main lobby of the municipal complex. All requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been met in compliance with the Sunshine Law. I'd like to ask everyone to rise for a salute to the flag. Kurt, will you lead us?
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Number 4, approval of minutes, the workshop meeting, October 10th, 2023. I believe there were 3 members present.
Sorry.
Roll call.
Okay, it's a motion by Krenzer, second by Williams. Krenzer?
Yes.
Renart?
yes.
Testa?
Yes.
That's abstain. Williams?
Here.
Yes.
Yes. Sorry.
That's okay. Ruggieri?
Yes.
That's abstain.
Abstained.
That's okay.
That was the one Ellen and I both missed, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Announcements, presentations, discussions, there are none. Mayor's report.
A few quick things to share with you guys tonight. We'll start with the schools. I attended the Buena homecoming ceremony on Friday. Really good event. The athletic field looks completely out of this world. It kind of stinks that the football team got to utilize it once. It was their last home game. But it looks like you're at like a D1 college. I think that completely exceeded expectations. So really good event. We got to see the homecoming parade itself, the unveiling of the facility. Special thanks to everybody that made it out there. It was a really good event. Quick update from Superintendent Capuccio, just kind of going around the horn with the schools as a whole. The middle school held its annual Donuts with Grown-Ups event October 5th, which was very well attended. The event allows family members to spend quality time with students for a day at the middle school and the opportunity to see them during the course of their learning activities. And one last thing on the elementary schools. The elementary schools within the district were honored to have fire prevention and safety assemblies and demonstrations pretty much all throughout during the week of October 9th. Quick thank you to everyone that attended and helped support the dinner and movie night that we had. Very well attended, much warmer than it was the year prior. We're going to continue to move this up. Next year, this event's going to be in September, so we're continuing to shift this closer to warm weather. I want to thank all of our local businesses that donated gift cards that were given away during that evening. Looking forward to having this event again next year and keeping this as basically a fall mainstay for BVT. It was very well attended. Veterans Day ceremony, Saturday, November 11th at 11 a.m. Please put this event in your calendar. Join us to honor everyone who has served in all branches of the military, past and present. It's going to be right out front at Town Hall, the 11th at 11 a.m. Lastly, I want to touch once more on the holiday toy drive. The donation bin is right out front. If you have donated already, thank you. If you have not, please consider doing so. Any new unopened gifts for children are accepted. This makes a huge impact for all families in need during the course of the holiday. This event was absolute gangbusters last year. We're looking to kind of sustain that momentum and make this thing bigger this year. Any help from the community for this event is immensely appreciated. And again, gifts can be donated right out front in the hallway. And that is all I have for my report this evening.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinances for introduction, first reading, there are none. We have 2 ordinances for public hearing, second reading. We will take them individually, starting with 136-2023, repealing ordinance number 123-2022 and ordinance 127-2023 to prohibit cannabis establishments with the township and nullify the local cannabis establishment licenses and cannabis transfer and user tax. Before I provide that to you, Mayor, just want to let the governing body know that this ordinance was originally introduced October 10th, 2023. It was deferred to the Land Use Board, which just met on the 19th. With that, they also adopted a 2023 Master Plan Reexamination Report, an amendment of the 2022 Master Plan Reexamination Report. With that adoption, they also in turn voted to send Ordinance 136-2023 back to the governing body for adoption, with the conclusion that this ordinance is now consistent with the master plan.
We'll need a motion and a second to open to the public.
Motion.
Second.
We are open.
We just want to know what you're going to do. Does this, you want
Come-
us to
yep,
say
Yeah,
anything?
please.
I got this down pretty much now. I'm Michelle Orazi. I live at 642 Union Road. My question is, appeal change of master plans. Does that mean that you are like kind of revoking the sale of cannabis in our township?
Bill, you want to handle that, or Matt?
I'll defer that to Matt. I
Well,
mean, yeah, moving forward, we're prohibiting.
Yeah, in plain English, yes.
Okay. First
Wait.
of all, yeah, I just wanted to make sure I was understanding it clearly. So basically, you're...
We're repealing the previous action that was taken. We're
Okay.
undoing it.
Okay, and you're putting it in the master plan.
So
Yeah.
the master plan was changed to actually have cannabis and to zone it correctly. So
Okay.
they voted to go back to basically what it was before and prohibit it. So the sale, distribution, grow, all of that is prohibited.
Okay.
Right, as the administrator just reported, they took that formal action, they being the planning board, who has dominion over that, so that they could say, so that they could find it to be this, what we are doing tonight, to be consistent with the now revised master plan. So it's a multi-step thing.
Okay.
And the planning board took the logical steps to put that into that sequence, which was to amend the master plan, review this, now consistent with the now master plan, refer it back to us, the governing body, saying it is consistent with the master plan. In order for the governing body to take this action, the governing body must refer it to the planning board for review, and they come back and say consistent or inconsistent. That's a mandatory step under the statute. We've completed, we've checked that box, so now it's up to the governing body to act. That's what's on the agenda tonight.
Okay, so that's something that you would vote on this evening?
As soon as this public hearing is
1 minute.
closed.
Okay.
Yep.
I would just like to say, thank you. Thank you for listening to the residents of your township. Thank you for saving our property values. Thank you for taking into consideration that we're your fellow neighbors. We didn't want to do this, but it's something I think as residents we felt we had to voice. So I'm most thankful, sincerely thankful, that you're going to keep cannabis out of Buena Vista Township. And if I could throw the hugest party, it would be for every one of you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did anybody else want to speak tonight? Motion to close, Bill.
Motion and a second to close to the public.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Need a motion and a second to adopt 136, 2023.
Motion to adopt 136, 2023.
Second.
Roll call.
Krenzer?
Yes.
Renard?
Yes.
Testa?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Ruggieri?
Yes.
That ordinance passes. Ordinance 137-2023 is authorizing the street vacation of Steve Avenue.
Motion and a second to open to the public on 1/37/2023.
Motion to open to the public?
Second.
Motion to close.
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion and a second to adopt 1/37/2023.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Roll call.
Krenzer,
Yes.
Renart,
Yes.
Testa.
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Ruggieri.
Yes.
That ordinance passes. Public comment on current agenda items only. In order for the committee to conduct the business of the township in the most productive manner possible, meeting attendees will be given 2 minutes, all-inclusive, to comment on any agenda items without comment or question from the committee, but only on items specified on the agenda listed for the current meeting. Please step up to the microphone at the appropriate time and state your name and address for the record. 155-23 is authorizing the payment of bills in the amount of $3,127,352.70. Of that, the school board tax is $2,806,488. Consent agenda includes items of business which are not controversial and do not require individual discussion. A motion approving the consent agenda is moved, seconded, and voted upon as one item by the Township Committee. If any discussion is requested on the consent agenda item, it is removed from the consent agenda to the regular agenda. Resolution 156-2023 is authorizing a clean and lien on 124 Collin Road for property maintenance cleanup. 157-23 is authorizing the settlement of pending tax appeals. 158-23 is canceling, amending, and issuing purchasing cards for the township. 159-23 is authorized the submission of plan for Drug Alliance grant for fiscal year of 2025. 160-23 is approving the compensation for members of the Board of Fire Commissioners. 161-23 is authorizing the conveyance of property known as Block 8416, Lot 6 to the Milmay Fire Company. 162-23 is award quote for the 2024 calendar to Invoke Print and Marketing Solutions. And 163-23 is authorizing sale of a tax certificate by assignment.
We need a motion and a second to open to the public for agenda items only.
Motion to open to the public?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Need a motion and a second to adopt resolutions 155, to adopt resolution 155-23 to pay the bills.
Motion to pay the bills?
Second.
Roll call.
Krenzer?
Yes.
Renart?
Yes.
Testa?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Ruggieri?
Yes. And lastly, a motion and a second to adopt consent agenda resolutions 156 through 163.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
That was Kurt. You got that?
Roll call.
Krenzer?
Yes.
Renart?
Yes.
Testa?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Ruggieri?
Yes. Item 12.
I think you kind of covered everything, Mayor, for me. Just want to mention, we are accepting donation of food for our food bank, which we give out twice a month, the first and third Wednesday, at our Dr. Martin Luther King Center. So we are accepting food donations at each of the post offices here, Buena, Richland, and in Milmay. And also at the MLK Center as well, any type of non-perishable foods. And we also will be accepting any turkey or ham donations as well for our community dinners. We do a community dinner on Thanksgiving as well as one on Christmas. So if you have any turkey or hams that you would like to donate, just reach out to our clerk's office. We can get you in touch with Quentin McClendon, who is our director of the MLK Center, to be able to accept that donation as well. Any and all food is definitely welcome for that. And I think that covers everything you had, Mayor. Thank you.
The season of giving
Yes.
is upon us. We're going to jump over to item 13, committee reports, and we will start with Deputy Mayor Testa.
I just wanted to also say about our movie night. It was very well attended, and it was a great event. It really was. And I hope it does become an earlier event, because that was a very chilly
We're
night.
we're eyeing the third week of September next year.
Great
We're
idea.
venturing into September.
Great idea. And I do want to also say, any donations of toys and funds would be greatly appreciated for the Christmas event. It is a fabulous event, and the kids adore it and appreciate everything that is done for them. So please, whatever you can manage, please do it, because if you see these children's faces when they're here, it's well worth it. And please, again, do whatever you can. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Alrighty, we're gonna jump over to Committeeman Krenzer.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, thank you very much. I got a couple things tonight, so just bear with me, okay? First, we'll get started. Public Works update. The guys are working and girls are working on parks, roadside grass, potholes, building inspections, and maintenance to all the public-owned buildings. So they're pretty busy this week getting some things ready. Saturday, November 4th, which is next week, or 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, is Big Trash Day at Public Works. So if you have anything, big that's laying around, please bring it over. And what time is that? That's
We open at 8 until 12 noon.
8 to 12, and that's at Public Works on Union Road. The new deck and porch is complete at the PACON building. It's phenomenal. So if you're down in Richland, driving through there, stop and look at it. It came out really, really nice, ADA compliant. It's spectacular. So that was a very, very nice upgrade and much needed for that building. Last week at our zoning meeting, AutoZone presented, and they were approved to build a new AutoZone next to Tractor Supply. So I don't know if everybody knows that, but I did want to get that out tonight. It's a exciting time, as we have new businesses and jobs creating coming to our town. So definitely excited about that. Lisa, the four-way stop at Landis and Union, do you have any update on that or any information that we've talked about in the past?
I did receive a letter from the county executive indicating that they felt that they now need to do some type of review or study for that intersection. They will be doing a review and study, and hopefully we should have something back on that. But they have now agreed to do a study on that intersection.
Which is great, that's what we needed, so, good.
Yes.
And lastly, just want to say thank you to Tiffany, Matt, and Lisa for the hard work in researching the policy and changes for 136-2023. And appreciate all that. It was a long 18 months, kind of getting it out there, and obviously, our community has spoken in that, which is fine. And to everybody in the community that showed their support to refrain from this, I have a couple things I'd like to say about that. As far as, I hope, as much as this was a concern for our entire community, it brought everybody together. We had a lot of people here week after week or month after month attending meetings, getting more involved in the township, which was great, and we do appreciate that. We do appreciate your insight and your passion to show us exactly what's going on. And, on paper for business, it looks great, but when we get out in the community and things like that, it definitely affected a lot of people, and we do appreciate you guys coming out. I do hope, however, that you do take your passion and your drive, to surrounding townships as well and see exactly what's going on there too. So, that being known, a lot of people, showed their support for not having this. And they were from Vineland, from, different areas in the surrounding community. So I hope that, you kind of take a step back, look and see what's going on in your town and that, and show the same support and that also. So I do appreciate that, though, and, tonight showed that we came together as a community and got something changed. So I do appreciate that. Thank you guys for your passion and coming out. So that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Kurt, what do you have for us tonight?
I just have one comment to make concerning November 11th, Veterans Day. In the past, it's always been very well attended. The township puts out a good spread, and last year was a not a well-attended event. I'd like to see it brought back up again to past attendance. There was very little attendance, and especially in this times, we really should be supporting the veterans. I mean, I'd like to see that whole front lawn full of people. I was very disappointed last year, but hopefully this year will make up for it.
Right.
Yeah, to Kurt's point, I mean, that's normally a packed house. Last year, I think we were hard pressed
Yeah.
to count more than like a dozen people that weren't part of the event itself, as far as, us and the fire companies. So,
Yeah, we have the fire companies come out too. Newtonville brings their giant flag. I mean, that thing is huge, so it's just a sight to see that.
you want to add that?
Yeah,
All right, I'm going to give the floor to
I did
Deputy Mayor
forget-
Testa again.
I did forget to say something. I think we should all say prayers for the country of Israel and what they're going through right now. And we should all be giving them our support and our prayers for what they are going through at this point.
By all accounts, this doesn't look to be something that's going to be short-lived.
No, it
So
is
I
not.
think this is going to be a lengthy endeavor.
My cousin, who lives there and grew up in Buena, he lives in Jerusalem, and they're really going through a lot of hard times. He, like I said, he was a resident of Buena all of his life, and now lives there and has raised his family there. And I spoke to him last week, and it's unbelievable what they are now going through and all the shortages and the constant drills. It's really incredible.
Thank you, Ellen. John, what do you have for us tonight?
Yeah, on Friday the 20th, I attended the Atlantic County League of Municipalities meeting, and at that meeting, the speakers were Mike Sarah and President Ray Heck of the New Jersey League of Municipalities, and they spoke at the dinner meeting. Also, I attended on the 19th, I attended the Planning and Zoning Board, and as Aaron mentioned, we had the AutoZone is going to be next to the Tractor Supply, which is a real good thing. And then we also did the Master Plan Examination Report for 2023, which included the amendment of the 2022 Master Plan Reexamination Report. So they made that correct. And I also attended the Environmental Clean Communities meeting on the 12th, and at that meeting they came up with some, there was a form for $1,500 was received for ANJAC grant, and then also $1,000 from Wawa for the old garden beds at the Martin Luther King Community Garden Center.
Did they mention, John, the turnout for the farm tour, how that did?
Yeah, they did real good on the farm tour. There was approximately 8 people that attended on the bus, and they got to all the facilities around the township.
Okay, perfect.
For the farms, and that was good also. And I heard the night for the fun day, the fun day for the Halloween fun day was you actually pulled it off because
Yeah, it was
stopped
torrential
raining.
rain, and then we posted online to cancel the event, and 45 seconds later, the sun came out. So we kind of did the event with it canceled. We still had about 15, 20 people come through. We still handed out a bunch of candy. But more and more of these events, kind of as we progress, we're trying to hybridize and bring indoors to make them kind of more, it never fails. I mean, if we don't plan anything, we'll have, 3 months with no rain. And then as soon as we start to load up the calendar, it's a constant deluge. So we are looking at Easter to kind of make that an indoor/outdoor endeavor, as well as finding a way to make the Fall Fest next year kind of more of a hybrid event where it can be a rain or shine endeavor.
Yeah, and Environmental tries to pitch on that with Valerie getting the apple cider and some giveaways she had with, along with Lisa. And that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Item 14, public comment.
The committee welcomes participation of interested organizations and individuals during regular caucus, workshop, and special meetings. However, in order to conduct the business of the township in the most productive manner possible, attendees will be given 4 minutes, all-inclusive, including all dialogue, questions, and responses from both the speaker and the committee for the designated public portion of the meeting. There may be no transference of a speaker time to other attendees, so please step up to the microphone at the appropriate time and state your name and address for the record.
Motion and a second to open to the public.
Motion to open to the public?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Joe Procopio, 4841 Lannis Avenue. I just want to take the opportunity to thank the committee, the administrator, the solicitor, and anyone else who's involved in repealing the cannabis ordinance. I know it was a long battle. We appreciate everyone's support and your commitment to the community and listening to the community and putting the health and the safety and the viability of our neighborhood in your minds. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
I'll quickly comment on that. I mean, this to me is the embodiment of local government. I have no aspirations of ever doing anything more. I think this is as streamlined as it gets in taking feedback, digesting it, and giving a finished product in a relatively quick time. If this was anything at the state level or federal level, this would have been, we would be in year 11 of discussing this. So I will say that we tried to be open and as accessible as humanly possible. If there's a pothole, we fix it. If there's a tree in the road, we move it. If there's an issue, we resolve it. I try to not make this more involved than it needs to be. Myself and everyone that sits here before you, I try to be as omnipresent and as close to a 24/7 operation as you can get. Anytime you can't get a hold of us firsthand, Lisa pretty much lives here, so we try to act on stuff. I mean, we'll have a dump site on Jackson Road that we know about by 10 o'clock, and we've got boots on the ground by 11, and it's completely cleared by 11:30. So I do sing the praises of everyone that sits here before you and just trying to be as quick and efficient and as streamlined as we can be, in the context of representing you guys. So thank you again. Thank you, Joe. Anyone else?
Vera Norum. I'm representing my parents, Robert and Nona Kazaza, from 4919 East Landis Avenue. So I just want to say thank you as well. And just 2 questions. I just wanted to confirm the longevity of this ordinance and what the possibilities would be for it to be overturned once again.
I mean, we felt that there was really one site that could support a retail endeavor, and I don't see a month from now or a year from now that site.
I'm sorry, Mayor. I don't know, if you, just mechanically speaking, this is done by ordinance, so it can only be changed by ordinance. So in essence, it's permanent unless there's further action taken. Some actions we take expire after a year, some have to be renewed every year. This remains, quote, on the books unless and until some further action by a governing body would be taken, which involves everything that you've become all too aware of now and how things work. So it's a permanent move in that it doesn't have to be renewed.
What about a state law? And I'm just questioning this as I think out loud, but what about if something came down from state, Matt?
Well, if you asked me 20 years ago if we'd ever be having these discussions that facing these items or issues we faced, I would not have foreseen that. So I can't speak with certainty about what the state does in the future, but the carve-out has been through this particular issue is to preserve a large degree of home rule. I mean, I guess theoretically there could be a divergence from that, but it doesn't appear. There's nothing that I'm aware of. There's nothing pending. There's nothing discussed. There's nothing. Lisa and I get updates, legislative updates from the League of Municipalities, and there's nothing in committee. There's nothing in the
Got it.
works at this point. And as the mayor indicated, sometimes when these things are in the works, it's
Yeah.
It starts
it's
to
a
kick up
process
conversations.
that we
I
would
gotcha.
be, we'd
So it's
be
not
able to
changing
follow.
unless somebody here changes it, as
At this-
far as with
correct.
an ordinance? Yep.
Correct.
Okay.
So it would have to be on a local level. Okay. So thank you for the speed that you got this accomplished. It was very upsetting on June 26th when we heard that it was not going to change for 5 years. So I'm glad that that was not the case. And one other question is, I'm curious as to how you were going to announce this to the public.
There's a camera behind you.
So that's your the regular way you put notifications out, just the,
I'm sure we can do something on social media as far as just letting them know that it's been repealed.
Well, it would,
something
it would
along those lines.
basically be
So-
any inquiry that usually comes through my office, I will respond accordingly to indicate whether or not it's permitted or not, and provide them the ordinance of prohibiting. So it would basically be on an inquiry basis. There's not many really local in this area that could even be licensed to do anything. So it'll be on an inquiry basis. And of course, these ordinances are published in the Press of Atlantic City for anybody who follows and on our website, so.
right.
I mean, it sounds kind of from what we've heard upstream that there could be 2 or 3 more of these coming to Vineland, and 1 or 2 coming to Buena, and 5 or 6 coming to Monroe Township, and 1 is already ready to go in Folsom. So I think just from a business viability standpoint, kind of that window is quickly closing for any more of these to enter the ether, and regardless of, you know, what it is, just from a business standpoint, from a water ice stand standpoint, I mean, this area can't support, 15 of these, and I think that's kind of already the road that we're headed on.
They're headed on.
Just
Yeah,
cannabis as a whole.
yeah.
I understand cannabis is a very controversial topic, and I just appreciate it, and we all appreciate that it's given some, what I'm trying to say is that you announce different things going on with the township that is not very controversial, and we get constant notices about that. But when it's something like this topic, I think that your residents would be really appreciative if you were to give the announcement that it's not going to be within the township now.
Okay.
So thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Donna.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say something on a personal note. I just wanted to thank everybody that got up and spoke up about this and told us that you didn't want it. We listened to you and we hear you. I was very proud of everybody who did that.
Thanks, John.
Anybody else tonight?
Michelle Orazy, 642 Union Road. I just wanted to thank you again from the bottom of my heart that I can sleep now knowing that you guys did this. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Really, thank you. And Mr. Krasner, I think it was a really good statement that you made, that you listened to the residents and you saw the passion. And that sounded like that was an impactful way for you guys to make that decision.
Absolutely.
What was best for the community. And I think if you, as a team, continue to do that, this will be a much better place to live, happier. And as a result of attending these meetings, for someone that works full-time, it was a lot for me to do. But I'm hearing this gentleman here saying that people are not attending things for veterans. That's really sad. So if there's anything that I can do to give you ideas to promote things, I would be happy to do that if I have the time.
Yeah.
I work a full-time job, but to me, it's very disheartening that people are not attending things for veterans, because they're the reason why we all live and breathe still.
Absolutely.
If it had not been for them defending the country. And I do appreciate, and I know a lot more about what you do as a result of this. There are a lot of good things that happen in this community that you're also responsible for. So I just wanted to thank you, and thank you for keeping East Violin wholesome the way it was meant to be. Thank you.
On your
Thanks,
point
Michelle.
about Veterans Day, it shouldn't have to be pumped up. It should-
No,
it
no,
shouldn't.
it should
just be a
not.
natural American thing to want to support the people that give us the rights we have right now.
Now, last year, how many people did you have attend?
Not
Very
many.
few.
It was about a dozen or
Very
less,
few.
think.
I mean, a normal year, would have 40 or 50 people. Last year, and like I said, we probably had somewhere between, a dozen-ish.
I think a lot of it has to do with inroads into the community, different groups, planting that seed and having your cheerleaders in all those groups, and then just keep building on it, like
Well-
Avon. And, I mean, it is a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Like we said, we had many people before. Last year, for some reason, there weren't very many people who attended.
Well, we'll see. I mean, the last year could have been an anomaly.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes
Is there a
this
cost
year.
associated with it
No.
for
No,
attending?
It's a free
No,
event. It
it's
takes
free.
about a
And
half an
actually,
hour.
we have refreshments after, so.
Okay. and
Everything we
it's
do
free.
is free to the public.
Okay. And you're putting it in your newsletters. I mean, these are
Of
things
course.
that I can ask and
At the
try
movie
to.
night, there was a brochure every single night.
Everything we do is in.
Yeah, it goes on
is in our
Facebook, it goes in the
brochure,
calendar.
It's on our calendar, it's on our website.
But I do think that, Michelle, you and everybody else here in the audience, as Lisa posts stuff on our social
Share it.
media, hit share.
Share it.
Because,
That's right.
they may not be liked, like Buena Vista Township, but they're friends with you and they see things like that. So I think the more we can get people to share that information, the better off
Exactly.
we're going to be. And that'll happen organic, just kind of like what you said
Yeah.
with Avon, it just goes organically.
Everything
So,
has to be shared,
Yep.
when on Facebook. Otherwise, people just don't see it.
Yep. And one more thing, Michelle, I appreciate you saying that about, bringing the community together and whatnot. Typically, over the past couple of years, we see anywhere from 3 to 5 to 8 to 10 people here in the audience on a
most.
TV night or a workshop night. I encourage all of you guys that are in attendance or have been in attendance, you don't have to make every meeting, but come and see what's going on and show the support of the town and any concerns or anything you have, bring up, because we listen and we get things done here very quickly. Maybe not this part because of the legality reasons and that, but, if there's trash or something along the, we can react, like Bill said, very quickly, so.
And like I know, you guys have daytime jobs as well. You're doing this, pretty much out of the goodness of your heart and care for the community. So I know we were really tough on you guys, but I think we had to get our point across. So I just want to thank you again for listening to us. It is greatly appreciated. So thank each and every one of you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Michelle.
Thank you.
Motion and a second to close to the public.
Motion.
to close.
Second.
All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
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 Item 15 is executive session. Nothing is scheduled for this evening.
Nope.
Item 16, I need a motion and a second to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.